Okay, here I am in the inspiration truck. Some of the guys called it 1978 W900A. 8V92, has a 13-speed torsion bar suspension, and I wanted to do a video on how to shift one of these newer school style 13 speeds with the red button top. In case you didn't all know, the red splitter denotes that's a 13 speed. If it's blue, that denotes a 15 speed, and if it's gray, that means it's an 18 speed. So if you jump in a truck and you're like, man, this doesn't have a shift pattern on top, what's going on here? That's the story there. So anyhow, so right now it's in low range, so you can't actually move the splitter. There you go, high range, and you can move it. So all the way over and to you is first, and straight forward is reverse. So if you're RPM shifting with one of these, it's been a while, but with a 92 or a Detroit in general, I'd get the RPMs up to like 1900 RPMs, and then it's got about 150 or 200 RPM shift range. So if I'm RPM shifting, I'd get it all the way up there. Say if I'm down here, let it up a little bit over that second, get it all the way up there, let it off third, same deal, and fourth and fifth. Now going from fifth to sixth, I'll shift up, and then there's sixth gear, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now if you're double clutching, you'd start out in first here and get your RPMs up, and then you stab clutch, so it'd look something like this. Second, third, fourth, fifth. Oh, so let's start out over here. So if you're in fifth, you go over to neutral, sixth, get your RPMs up, and then it'll bump it up that one gear when you let off the throttle, and stab again. So that'd be, we're in eighth, ninth, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So what happens is when you're splitting like that, if you're cruising along, say you're in sixth, you would get your RPMs all the way up to like 1900, for instance, and then you would just gradually let off your throttle a little bit, put that up, and then do that once, and it just gives your transmission a break, and your road speed, you're slowing down a little bit, for instance. You might even be speeding up, you know, if you're going down a slight grade, and just braking torque, doing that with your clutch, will engage it. Now if you're slowing down and you want to, you know, down split like that, what it looks like is you slow your truck down to maybe 14 or 1500 RPMs, and then split in like that. And what you can do is rev your engine just a little bit, it'll catch, or you can just go down a full gear. Just all depends on what you want to do. It sounds a little confusing, but if you actually, once you drive one of these, it doesn't take very long to get a feel for how the truck wants to shift. These trucks, they're all a little bit different. So some trucks you'll be able to RPM shift no problem. Some trucks, they only want to be double clutched. Just depends. I haven't driven that many trucks. I've probably probably 10 or 15 different ones. So yeah, anyhow. And then, by the way, that means the beautiful redhead in Italian. I come from a Italian family, so hence the nameage there. And it is a beautiful redhead, I'd say. And I really love that visor on there too. It's just a good looking old truck. Nice looking old truck. And it's got, like I said, torsion bar suspension, which is kind of cool. This is the only one I've ever looked at with that type of suspension on it. He's got a drop pintle hitch there for towing the other equipment trailer he's got. So yeah. My uncle was going through Puyallup one time and somebody took a pot shot at him and it's still there. That was back in the early 90s when that happened. Turkey. I meant whoever took a pot shot at him, not my uncle. So, yeah, anyhow. Hope you all enjoy. And thanks for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe and hit the bell in the end for all the updates. And check out my top subscriptions on my main page. And thanks again for being here. If you got any questions or comments on